They say all you need for free running is a pair of good shoes. Of course I would love to make a free running shoe, but I have actually not a single clue on how to do that. And this is my attempt at figuring it out. I figured one way to decide how to make a shoe is by destroying a shoe first. Laces, so I guess this is not rocket science. I started free running 11 years ago, and since then I've looked at shoes differently. About 4 years ago, I started a clothing brand with a bunch of my friends called Team Farang. Ugh, double stitching, this is gonna take forever. Shit. And we've had a lot of fun, and we learned a lot making everything from t-shirts, over pants, in all different kinds of cuts and shapes and sizes, all the way to even one jacket. And that's been a really fun experience. Of course, since day one, we've always played with the idea of making our own shoe. I guess a reasonable person would go to some sort of design school, intern at a shoe company for a while, maybe even get a steady job designing shoes, working with them, and learn through another company's expertise and experience and make mistakes using their money, not their own. And then maybe start making their own shoes. However, we've learned through making mistakes and of course being very careful and cautious and using the internet and all the resources we can find to learn about it. And this has worked for free running, filmmaking, and making clothing. I feel like it might work for shoes too. Alright, this has been cute, but now let's actually get into it. I'm sorry if this episode doesn't have any particular story arc or no interesting crazy stuff happens. This is for people who are interested in these kind of things and are curious about the journey that it takes to get there, if we get there. But I'm excited to share whatever we learn and happens trying to figure this out and learn about this. So far, what I've learned asking friends of mine that have experience or that have made their own shoe is the following. Shoe production in general is not too different from making any kind of product. Step 1 is finding a factory. Step 2 is telling them what you want. Step 3, they attempt making that and they send you a prototype. You then get the prototype, test it, make changes, and they do another prototype, you test it again until you're happy with the final prototype, then you go into production. Breaking stuff for fun is hard work. Usually there's a certain minimum of an order they want, and then you get all the products and then you try to sell it. That's what we've done with the clothing. It's probably not the best way of doing this. Come on. Most factories are in China, made in Vietnam. Which means you will have to find a factory in China that you trust and that you communicate well with. Good luck. Ideally, you want to go visit them before production, during production, and after production to double check everything. Factories in China are known to send you prototypes, you then approve the prototypes, but when you get the final product, they used a cheaper material, didn't work as precisely, or a big part of the products have mistakes and you can't sell them. And then you're pretty much fucked because there's not much you can do. Good luck sending it back to China and then restitching it. So that's why you want to visit the factory as much as possible, and you want to build a personal relationship with the factory as much as you can. They inserted these little pads into the shoe here in the tongue, I assume so when you lace it up, the laces don't press against your foot and make you uncomfortable. Around the ankles, we're very specific with what we need and what we want from a shoe. I feel like there's so many mistakes you can make that will destroy the whole product. And on top of that, making a mistake won't just cost a few $1,000s. I think it will maybe cost you $40,000, $50,000, and that could mean the end of our company and all the fun adventures we're having. So it's always something we looked at, but we've never felt ready for it. And I think now we're getting to a stage where I guess they might make the shoe softer. I'm not saying we're doing it, but we're getting more serious about the idea of making a shoe. And the first step is learning and understanding as much as possible about what it actually takes to make one of these. Because I don't know. I'm not going to find out in this video, but this is the starting point on this journey. It seems so cute when you look at it like this. It's like, really? That's it? There's obviously quite a bit to it. I feel like this did make me a little bit smarter. So next stop is YouTube.
Finally using. But here I'm just experimenting with the different cutouts on that side piece here. You know, how I could perforate that shape to get it.
What I did learn is the following.
Right now I'm feeling.
The shoe comes with the sole, a rubber sole, and then this white foamy part. I don't know the term yet. Those are not necessarily made in the same factory as the upper part of the shoe. Even the rubber and the foam can be made in two completely different factories, and then they bring it together and stitch it together. However, when they make the sole, they need to make a mold. To make this mold costs $2,000, and then you have a custom sole. You pay for the mold once, and then you can use it on and on and on and on and make shoes forever with it. The problem is that you need a different mold for every size of shoe you make. So if you want to make 10 different sizes of your shoes, which I guess is pretty normal, that's $20,000, just like that. And you haven't even started making a shoe yet. You're just paying for the mold. Of course, for a small company, that is a lot of money, and we just can't afford that. But there is a simple trick you can do. Say we would love this sole, which we don't. It's not that great for free running. But if there's a sole that you like, you can ask the factory to track down the mold for that sole, and then they can use that to make you a shoe. So straight away, that's where you can save a big chunk of money. So I guess that's what we'll try to do. Well, there go 5 hours of my day. I feel like I've learned a lot. I found a lot of interesting stuff, sifting through a ton of videos and articles. And if you're curious and want to learn more too, I'll put all those links in the YouTube description for you guys. Now I'm going to do some training for the sunsets. Luckily, we're staying at our friend's beautiful place that has a free running spot on the roof.
My love for your 70 grows. 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 My love 70. My love 70 grows. 70 grows. 70. My love 70. My love.
birds are flying. So beautiful. Look. Wow. Birds. Make everything more epic. The principle to how I used to train on my very first day of parkour and free running is really still exactly the same how I train today. It all starts with finding it one jump that's not too easy but not too difficult, and then you practice it till it gets easy, and then you do the same thing the day after and the day after and the day after, and after 11 years of doing that you end up doing some cool shit. But that's really all it is just find a challenge that is right in that sweet spot, not too hard, not too easy. Do it till it gets easy, and then that's it. There's a bunch of kids over there that have been watching me train, have been cheering me on. So we're gonna go and say hi.
Who is he? Which way? Think this way?
This way, I think, yeah.
Or they're all that way? Yeah.
This is our first time exploring our neighborhood. It's very quiet. It's a village outside of Marrakesh. Hello! Local gang.
Yay!
Yeah! Oh! Let's win. Okay?
Careful of the power lines. The power lines.
Yeah. Ready?
Ow.
Okay, I think we're done.
Yeah.
Au revoir.